Hello everybody, this is Crash Disco. We are on the S1K headed up to the north side to return this bike to my amazing friend Rob, who was so kind to let me borrow it for a couple of days. This bike is wonderful, I absolutely love it. I could see myself riding one of these for sure. It runs really nice, it's bone stock. There's no upgrades done to it, performance-wise. And it's really a dream to ride. I absolutely love it. It looks great, feels good when you're riding, it's very comfortable. It handles like super good, it's super light on its feet. Reminiscent of the Ducati. I think the Ducati edges it just a little bit. But then again, I haven't made any suspension adjustments to this bike. Just the way Rob handed it to me. And with that in mind, I mean, there could be slight improvements, but I don't really feel like it needs any. We rode it yesterday out in the country, and we were taking some pretty nice turns and stuff, and the bike is very stable. It doesn't wobble or make me lose confidence in it in any way. Firmly planted, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun to ride. It is a flat plane 4-cylinder, and that means it's going to need to rev out a little bit more than the Ducati. The Ducati is a V4, so it's got torque all throughout the red range. And this bike, you know, just like a traditional sport bike, you gotta bring up the RPMs a little bit to get it to really move. But when you do, it goes. And there's nothing wrong with that. All you have to do is just be in the right gear to keep the engine in its power band. There's a lot of talk about parallel twins having more usable power or whatever. That's bullshit. It's just a Jedi mind trick. And they're just trying to sell lesser bikes to us. So they're trying to get us okay and think it's better to have a parallel twin. It's not. Those are beginner bikes for the most part. So don't fall for that trick. The more power you have, the more power you have to use. It's just that simple. And who cares if you got to rev it out a little bit higher to make it have the power? When you do, it gives you double the horsepower and like several thousand more RPM to work with. Parallel twins redline like around 10K or so. This bike redlines it looks like 14,000, so you got another $4 grand worth of power potential with a motor like this. And it's tuned in such a way to where it flows more air through the motor. So with that in mind, you'll be able to add more fuel to it, and that makes more power. And then the rotating mass of the motor, once it gets moving, just creates horsepower. Parallel twins are beginner bikes, or for people that just don't have a need for a full power machine like this, a true super sport machine. And there's a place in the industry, in the market, for both kinds of bikes. Some people want this extra performance, and I am one of them. I would not have nearly as much fun on a parallel twin as I do on a true super sport with an inline 4 or a V4 motor. It just doesn't have the power for an experienced rider. And I've made the argument in our live streams, which air every night pretty much at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. on the weekend, that these bikes are pretty much the safest bikes on the road in the right hands. A lot of people think sport bikes are the most dangerous bikes, and that's because quite often they're not in the right hands. But what makes safety? Well, there's a lot of things that go into safety. Handling is vitally important for safety. Braking and acceleration too. You might find yourself in a pinch point that you need to accelerate out of. So you need to have options. True sport bikes give you lots of options. When you have less power and less handling, you have less options to work with whenever something pops up in front of you at the last second. And quite often people think just braking is the best option whenever something pops up in front of you, and that's not always the case. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a combination of turning and braking. But if you can't turn that quick, then what are you left with? Not much. And quite often you'll find yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. In this environment that I'm in right now, you've got to be quick. You have got to be quick, and you've got to be aware of everything that's going on around you in order to be able to do something about it when something pops up. And it does. It pops up. It's just riding in this environment. You just know several times throughout your ride something is going to present itself for you to deal with, and you want to have options. You want to have options. I like having options. But back to this bike, it's smooth, it sounds good, even with the stock exhaust on it. It's quiet, but hey, you know, there's an upside to having a quiet bike. You create less disruption to the environment around you, meaning the impression people get, like when you're out on the road with them, like the people in the cars, if you're quiet, you don't scare them as much, and people don't like being scared. But GOAT, loud exhaust systems save lives. No, they don't. They really don't. We've talked about this in the live stream too quite a bit. Most cars, when usually you're going to be moving faster than the cars. The sound of the exhaust note is thrown out the back through the opening in the exhaust. It's firing backwards. It's like the voice of the bike is facing away from the cars in front of you, and it makes it quieter until you're right on top of them, and then when you go by, it's like bam, you know, and it scares the shit out of people, and that makes them upset, and that makes them hate bikers. But I don't really care what people think so much, but it's just not a nice thing to do, because that's just regular people. It could be your mom, it could be your sister, your brother, your father that's up in age. You know, nobody likes that sound except for us, the bike community. And the few people that just love motorcycles, they might be riding in a car, but they just love bikes. And then when they see bikes go by, they get excited because bikes are cool as hell. But they are not for everybody, and the general population is not into motorcycles. That's one of the things that makes it cool, because it's more exclusive. Meaning, it takes a certain kind of person to ride a motorcycle. You got to have courage and bravery and skill and confidence in yourself, and those are all admirable traits. But there's also a lot of stupidity in riding too. I mean, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't done stupid stuff. I do stupid stuff all the time. You know, taking risks that you don't necessarily have to in the search of fun. Anytime you are having more fun on a bike, it usually, especially on a sport bike, means that you're going to be going really fast. Hey, and that's just sport bike riding. But what we need to do is just kind of offset some of the risk with skill and wisdom and experience. Whenever you don't have a whole lot of experience, it's good to have a parallel twin. It's good to have a bike that's slower and more forgiving. One that's not going to put you into a bad situation faster than what you can handle. And they can still do it, don't get me wrong. But you're less likely to enter a bad situation on a parallel twin than you are on a bike like this. Just really enjoying the ride on this bike. I'm so thankful to have good friends in my life like Tank and Rob and everybody else that I ride with. The biking community is really cool. It is like a brotherhood. And people will come to your rescue, like if you break down and stuff. And it's just a great community. People will loan you their bikes. I mean, I am the GOAT after all. And I don't mean the GOAT like greatest of all time. I mean like the animal. My name is the animal. It's not the acronym. When I first decided to name my channel Crash Test GOAT, people weren't going around saying the GOAT like the greatest of all time. That kind of came up around the same time, like around 5 years ago. And so my channel was never about the greatest of all time. It was only just the wily and annoying animal that seems like it would be the perfect candidate to do crash testing, because goats like to ram things. So I thought it would be an appropriate name. That's basically all it is. Yeah, beautiful day. I was hoping that it wouldn't rain while I returned this bike. I just cleaned it up, got the bugs and stuff off of it, and I want to return it back to my friend in pristine condition. It was so much fun riding out in the country yesterday with everybody. Really enjoyed it. And there's going to be more update on the Ducati. The Ducati is still in the shop. It's going on a month. Not quite a month yet, I don't think, but we're getting there. Dealerships are closed today, but I assume that they figured out what's wrong with it, and hopefully they got parts ordered and stuff, and it won't be much longer, hopefully. Nice car, huh? So I'm just trying to take it easy out here for this video, because my channel is Shadowban, y'all. YouTube has seen fit to stop my growth of my channel. They don't like me very much. I don't know if you guys can tell. I've been on YouTube for a while, and it's real hard to grow whenever you ride sport bikes. And not everybody is Shadowban, by the way. There's other people doing similar stuff to my videos, but they are not restricted. But I do think overall YouTube has placed limitations on motorcycle content. My first channel took off like a rocket, but once I restarted, I figured it would just, it kind of be similar, but it has not been. We're going on 3 years, and it's been really a tough slog trying to get back to where I was, but it may never happen. That's all right. It's just the way it is. They just don't like me very much. So I never asked for subscribers, but the only way that I'm going to grow is if you guys who watch the channel and aren't subscribed, if y'all just wouldn't mind helping me out. I'm not going to like flood your feed with all kinds of crazy shit or things that you don't want to watch. At least I hope not, anyway. So I'm asking for subs, folks. I've finally been beaten down to the point where I feel like I gotta at least mention it. It's always been my way to not even ask for subs. I just figure people will just do it if they want to. But whenever your channel is Shadowban, you need all you can get. And then hopefully, like once we get past a certain point, then it'll just kind of grow a little better. But there's no way of knowing that. So I would appreciate any support that you guys can give. trying to take it easy here. Plus he's got a plate mounted on the back of this bike that's boom, right out in the open. Oh man, the other day when I was picking it up, I passed 4 you-know-who's, and Rob was like, I hope they don't come knocking on my door. And I said, well, if they do, just tell them it was me. But they ain't gonna do that. I don't think they really care that much, to be honest with you. Not that they're not good cops or anything. I'm just saying, like, they probably look at motorcycle riders as a problem that will eventually take care of itself. If you know what I mean, which quite often it does. I'm being really good, right? I don't normally ride like this. See, part of the reason is because Mrs. Goat is behind us. She's not directly behind us, but she's coming up to pick me up after I return this fine machine back to its owner. And she's not like me. She's not. Mrs. Goat is kind of like the opposite of me. Like how I like to go fast, she likes to go exceedingly slow. And it's gonna be a while before she gets up here, so I'm not trying to blast like that guy in the truck just did. Sometimes people see bikes and they're like, I'm gonna show them. I'm not saying that was the case here with that truck, but it happens a lot, as any bike rider knows. So the country riding video is going to drop before this one, and so hopefully you guys will have seen that video. It's about 30 minutes long. I cut a lot of it out because when we're out riding, it was a slow ride because there was a lot of people. It was the memorial ride for my friend MP Recon, who passed away last week. And so there was a lot of people out there, and the leaders of the group, Cody was leading it, and he did a fine job keeping everybody together. And it was real fun, and there was nothing crazy going on, which is really nice. Everybody was fine. There were no accidents that I know of, and that's really a good thing. Love the dash on this. It's beautiful screen. I love the clear windshield. You know, Rob is so nice that before I picked this up, he put a new tire on the rear so that I would have a good tire to ride on. And he also took a tinted screen off and put his factory clear one back on. I mean, what a cool thing to do, right? I mean, that is like so nice of him to do that. And he asked me what tire pressure I wanted, and he changed the tire pressure for me while I was there. Just very cool of him to do that. Some people talk about a lag anywhere from like 6 to 8 grand in here because it's got the variable valve timing, like a VTEC and a Honda. But once you get used to it, you know it's there, it's really not that bad. I can understand how it would annoy, you know, people, I guess, but for me, that's not really that big of a deal. You just learn that it's there, and then you just adjust your riding style, how you ride the bike, to account for it. It's really not complicated or difficult. This thing's got a lot of features and electronics on it. I don't even know all the stuff it does. One of the things it has is, like, if you're on a hill, it'll automatically hold the brake for you until you let the clutch out, so you don't like have to roll backward or try to hold your front brake while you're giving it gas to take off. It does it for you, which is pretty cool. And that's just one of the nifty features that it has. It's got cruise control. It's got heated grips. Trying to think of what else. It's got like some kind of dynamic traction control system on it that I don't know anything about. So it's got a lot of stuff. I don't even know how to switch the modes and do all that stuff. He showed me like real quick, but I'm just going and my brain's like flatlining. It takes a little time. You got to go through it. We only used 1 bar of gas on the way up here. That's what happens when you don't switch the throttle. So now we're just going to go right up here and pull over and then wait for Mrs. Goat. Then she can follow us the rest of the way. It's not very far from here. So I'll probably end the video right here. So thanks for riding along with the Goat. I really do appreciate all of the support. Those of you that can see my channel actually give to the channel. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.